Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer on Roblox's absolutely dramatic Q1 2026 earnings. Today, we're unpacking what is genuinely a fascinating strategic trade-off. We're looking at a complete masterclass in corporate strategy. Think about it. This is a story about a company at the absolute peak of its financial performance, making a deliberate, incredibly difficult choice to introduce real friction into their product. Why on earth would they do that? Well, to build an impenetrable, long-term moat. If you want to understand the future of digital ecosystems, this is exactly what you need to pay attention to right now.
Let's just start with the sheer scale here, because these numbers are wild. Roblox just hit an astounding 132 million daily active users and $1.7 billion in bookings for this quarter alone. Just sit with that scale for a second. We really aren't just talking about a popular game anymore. We're talking about a digital nation-state that just keeps adding citizens at a staggering rate. All right, let's kick things off with Act 1. The boom. Looking at those Q1 2026 financial highlights. Now, before we get into the friction side of things, we really have to understand the momentum they were riding. Revenue grew a staggering 39%, and bookings surged 43%. Guys, that's roughly twice their long-term projected trajectory. Bookings, which is the actual hard cash users are spending to buy Robux, reached $1.73 billion. For a company of this maturity to post over 40% top-line growth without relying on a single viral hit game, that's a massive testament to the underlying health of their entire platform ecosystem. But wait, it's not just the financial growth. The pure scale of engagement here is driving nearly $600 million in free cash flow this quarter alone. They hit 31 billion hours engaged. To put that into perspective, that growth isn't just coming from tourists dropping by for 5 minutes, it's coming from deeply entrenched loyal users. And financially, that massive engagement is flowing directly to the bottom line, generating huge amounts of cash that Roblox can just instantly reinvest back into their platform. You know, historically, Roblox has been super North American-centric, but they have truly cracked the code internationally. When you have engagement hours in Japan, which is traditionally a really difficult market for Western platforms to penetrate, surging by 101% and international payers jumping by 52%, you're looking at a platform that's successfully globalizing its monetization engine.
Which brings us to Act 2, the twist. And let me tell you, this is a major safety headwind.
Okay, here is the dramatic plot twist. Why would a booming company voluntarily slash its full-year forecast from 43% growth all the way down to just 8 to 12%? This was literally the moment on the earnings call where everyone sat up straight. I mean, you don't usually see a company cut their own momentum by 3/4 voluntarily, right?
So what does this all mean? The crucial point here is that this slowdown isn't an accident. It's the direct result of strict, intentional new safety measures causing top-of-funnel friction. As CFO Naveen Chopra lays out, they are actively choosing to sacrifice short-term top-line growth to implement safety protocols. These protocols fundamentally alter how new users enter and interact with the platform.
Moving right along to Act 3, the friction. Let's unpack these age checks and kids accounts.
So what exactly did Roblox do to cool down their own rocket ship? Let's look at the anatomy of this friction. By becoming the absolute first major platform to mandate global age checks for chat, they effectively muted a massive portion of their unverified audience. Just think about the domino effect here. Kids who can't chat get frustrated, right? So they leave negative reviews on the App Store, and suddenly the platform's organic discovery takes a massive hit. They knew this would happen, and they did it anyway. To kind of structure this whole safety push, they're rolling out a 3-tiered account system by June. This categorizes users into kids, select, and standard accounts. And honestly, this is the structural payoff for all that friction. By forcing the age verification issue early, they can now build highly specific, trusted environments. If you're an 8-year-old, you're locked into mild content with 0 default chat. If you're 16, the whole platform opens up completely. It's a massive technological and regulatory moat that other platforms simply aren't even attempting at this scale.
But they aren't just leaving users hanging. To counter the friction, they're actively building new features like global chat and preset messages to safely reignite community engagement over the coming months. They know they took a hit to communication, so they're actively engineering safe workarounds. Things like preset messages allow users of completely different ages to coordinate in a game without any of the risks of open text chat. Plus, they're actually retuning their discovery algorithms to prioritize games that keep players around for 28 days or longer, rather than just games that monetize super fast.
All right, Act 4, the future moat. Let's talk about expanding that massive 18+ market. You see, this age verification friction, it actually transforms into a massive financial weapon for them.
Over 1/4 of their verified users are over 18. That is a segment that monetizes over 50% higher than younger users in the US. And because Roblox now knows definitively who these adult users are, they can safely serve them much more mature content and, crucially, monetize them at a significantly higher rate.
If you're a game developer, 37.8% is literally a flashing neon sign. By aggressively increasing the cut that creators take home, up from around 26%, Roblox is directly incentivizing the world's absolute best developers to stop making games just for kids and start building deep, mature experiences for adults right there on the Roblox engine.
And they're totally backing this up with dedicated incubators and studio partnerships, bringing huge, established game franchises directly into their ecosystem. They're not just crossing their fingers and hoping older games appear, they're actively funding them. They're mandating high-fidelity avatars to get that higher payout, and they're literally partnering with traditional PC and mobile studios that already boast over 150 million monthly players outside of Roblox, to port those massive hits right onto the platform.
Finally, let's dive into AI and Roblox reality. This is all about revolutionizing creation.
Okay, so if age gates are their regulatory moat, AI is absolutely their technical moat. They announced this project called Roblox Reality, aiming to be the first easy-to-use, multiplayer, photorealistic engine running on a global edge cloud. And guys, this is incredibly ambitious. They're moving far away from the blocky graphics we traditionally associate with Roblox, attempting to build an architecture where anyone can generate a highly realistic, massively multiplayer world. And the kicker? They want to render this entirely on their cloud, meaning it could run seamlessly on a high-end gaming PC or a 5-year-old smartphone.
The really crazy part here is how AI is fundamentally compressing development timelines, allowing tiny teams to build incredibly complex, high-fidelity worlds pretty much overnight. Nearly half of their top creators are already using AI tools. Get this, they've deployed NPC testing agents, literally AI bots that run around newly created 3D worlds just to find bugs so humans don't have to. With over 400 AI models running 1.5 million inferences every single second, they are essentially giving tiny indie teams the developmental firepower of massive AAA gaming studios.
The vision laid out in their latest shareholder letter really acts as a guiding light here. They're looking way past the immediate quarter, looking way past the temporary friction of their safety measures, and focusing entirely on a horizon where high-fidelity creation is totally democratized by combining traditional 3D engines with real-time video generation models.
So despite that lowered short-term guidance, the leadership team remains incredibly confident that these safety and technical investments will act as compounding moats. When CEO Dave Baszucki says their confidence has never been higher, it's because they truly believe they are solving the absolute hardest problems first. While other platforms are avoiding the friction of age verification and safety, Roblox is taking the hit right now, betting that a clean, safe, AI-powered platform is the only way to eventually capture 10% of the entire global gaming market.
So this leaves us with one seriously fascinating question to ponder. Will this short-term pain truly equal long-term dominance in the metaverse space? We've seen the explosive growth, we've unpacked the deliberate friction, and we've explored their massive investments in the 18+ market and AI. They are taking a massive, highly calculated risk, but honestly, only time will tell if the execution matches the ambition. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep a close eye on this fascinating strategic playbook. Catch you next time.